Alright, let's see. We have Thancred over here. Let's see what he has to say. Ah, there you are, Yue. Come, rest a while. You will have no better opportunity after witnessing the gods of ignominious defeat. The Amalja will be less inclined to risk our wrath, for a time at least. Now, where were we? Ah, yes. I was in the process of apologizing. I do hope you can forgive me. I arrived too late to be of any use to you or the abductees. They may be whole of body, but the same cannot be said of their minds. For once a man is tempered. Ah, but it ill suits me to dwell on the negatives. Amidst all our misfortunes, there is still a reason to rejoice. Ifrit is slain, and by your hand no less. That is the deed of no ordinary individual, Yue. Not that I ever thought you were ordinary. On the contrary, I have long suspected that you have the potential to shape the fate of this realm. What can I say? My fine eye for the talent remains undimmed. Minfillia will be proud beyond all reckoning when she hears of your deeds. I trust you shan't object to me my bearings of the tidings to her. That way I can claim to have contributed something to this mission. You, meanwhile, have earned yourself a rest. Take some time to relax, and return to the Waking Sands when you are good and ready. We can discuss matters in more details then. Just don't take too long, will you? The realm's problems won't solve themselves. Right, looks like we're going to meet them at the Waking Sands. So to our horizon we go. What a beautiful view from this bay. You can see the stars coming out, and then the wisp of cloud over the peak over there in the distance. And like the string of stars that concentrate right there. It's so pretty. Now that we're here, let's see what Minfillia has to say. Ah, the triumphant hero returns. Thancred told us the news upon his arrival. He is presently in the Solar, giving a full report to Lady Minfillia. You should join them at once. Lady Minfillia is most eager to see you. Aye, looks like we will join them. My late arrival nearly cost you his life. I wasn't there when the Amalja took him prisoner. And I wasn't there when they served him to Ifrit. Yes, by some miracle he survived, but that doesn't not excuse the fact that he should never have had to face such dangers alone. I failed him utterly, just as I am failing you all. What's done is done, Thancred. You can ill blame yourself for every... Yue, it's good to see you again. Impeccable timing, my friend. I had just finished regaling Minfillia with your heroic exploits. Thancred has told me everything. You have done well to return to us. The perils you faced were undeniably great, yet a part of me believes that I had no cause to fear. And now we can put paid to our long investigation. As we suspected, the Amalja undertook both the robbery and the abductions with the aim of summoning their primal, Ifrit. Nor is this a tale limited to Ul'dah. Similar incidents have been rife in both Limsa Lominsa and Gridania of late. I dare say you've been curious as to how these crimes are linked to the primals. Permit me to explain. Having manifested in the physical realm, primals must consume ether if they are to maintain their presence here. And the stronger they become, the more ether they require. Now, ether exists throughout creation. It flows through all life and permeates the very air that we breathe. Alas, this alone will not suffice to sustain the likes of Ifrit. Nay, he and his kind require a more concentrated source of ether: crystals. It is for this reason that incidents involving crystals can often be traced back to the primal. Which leaves us with the why of the abductions. To understand this, you must first understand how primals are born. When all is well with the world, primals possess no physical form. Their essence is dispersed across the great river of Aether. However, when the world is plunged into chaos, those who worship the primals cry out to their gods for deliverance from suffering. These cries serve as a beacon toward which a primal's essence is irresistibly drawn. It is this coming together, or etheric coalescence, which grants the being of physical forms. Once born, a primal gains strength from its followers' worship. The more numerous and fervent they are, the more powerful their gods become. But the primals are seldom satisfied with just reverence from their adherents freely given, and in order to gain more power, they do not scruple to create followers. They do this by tempering mortals, a process to which you or yourself were subjected. Yet, even as Ifrit took your comrades in his thrall, you alone remained unaffected. This is thanks to the power you possess, the Echo. We know not the why of it, but those blessed with the Echo are immune to the primal influence. It is as though a greater power protects us. When you first came to us, I told you that the Echo would be instrumental in dealing with the primal threat. I trust you now begin to see why. The recent incidents all share a common trait: meticulous planning. Such elaborate designs are a new development, and one which fills me with an unshakable sense of foreboding. While I share your concern, my presiding feeling is one of relief at your safe return. The immortal flames assured me that they will deal with the aftermath, so you need not concern yourself with that. We may rest easy for a time. I suggest you take full advantage of the respite, Yue. You may be sure it won't last long. Once the people learn of the identity of the hero who fell Ifrit, I fear you will have nary a moment to yourself. Whether she intends to or no, Minfillia neglected to tell you something I think it would be best you heard from one of us. It concerns the tempered abductees that were rescued. I am sorry to report that all are to be put to death. The flames with whom you were imprisoned included. Needless to say, this information must not be made known to the public. I swear to you that we would not do this if it weren't any other recourse, but once a man is tempered, he is tempered for life. His existence lends to the strength of the primal, whom he cannot choose but worship. And so we Scions continue our fight, that no more innocents need be sacrificed. I hope that you will continue to stand with us, Yue. But I should be going. I must offer my apologies to the Flame General for the loss of his people suffered. Till next time. Yeah, I forgot that they had to kill him because they were tempered. Gods forgive me. How many more lives? Louisoix would never have allowed this to happen. I have to do better. I have to be stronger. Yeah, that's gotta be rough. Saving their lives, but only to have them be lost because they have no more will left in them. Until not so very long ago, you were but one of many adventurers seeking to make their way into Eorzea. But for your character and courage, you were raised to the esteemed post of envoy. Thereafter, you traveled the realm, aiding those in need without a thought of reward, confirming to Ida Papalymo that the Scions would benefit from your aid. And no sooner that you had joined us than you personally bested the primal Ifrit. You have achieved a great deal in a short time, and won fame in so doing. Alas, fame does not come without a price, as you will soon discover. We have guests, Yue, or rather, you have guests. Beg pardons. Ah, Lady Minfillia, radiant as always. I am given to understand that the Scions of the Second Dawn have but recently welcomed a new hero to their midst. I am here on behalf of the Maelstrom, Grand Company of Limsa, to offer said hero a place of honor within our ranks. As you can see, Yue, your recent exploits have garnered you the attention of the Grand Companies of Eorzea. Each organization would have Ifrit's bane for its own. To this end, all three have sent officers to court you. They would not ordinarily go to such things to enlist a new recruit. That they have is evidence that of their high regard for you. I find myself wondering how in the world Yue's deeds spread so quickly. That the immortal flames should know that his triumph is to be expected, but what of the other grand companies? Oh, so it's Tatra. Your reputation precedes you, Master Heika. It is no ordinary man who can face a primal and emerge the victor. And imagine our pride when we learn that you began your journey as an adventurer in our own Gridania. Know that the people hold you in high esteem, and that you will always be welcome among us. The Order of Twin Adder has need of valiant men such as you. Join your strength to ours, friend, and together let us ensure that the peace ever reigns over the Twelveswood. What a pleasure it is to finally meet you, Master Heika. My comrades speak of you in the most glowing terms. A man of your talent belongs in the immortal flames. Join your strength to ours, friend, and together let us secure a prosperous future for Ul'dah. The Admiral was not exaggerating when she said you have the look of a hero. Full often does she speak of you, friend. It is only natural that we would want you for the Maelstrom. Join your strengths to ours, and together let us see the grand vessel of Limsa to the shores of glory. Lady Minfillia? Very well. Though I am quite sure you need no reminding, mayhap a brief summary of the situation would help clarify your thoughts on this matter. As you know, the Grand Companies are all-encompassing organizations empowered to call upon the martial, economic, and technological resources of their respective city-states in times of strife. There are presently three such organizations in Eorzea: the Maelstrom of Lumps and Lumensa, the Order of the Twin Adders in Gridania, and the Immortal Flames of Ul'dah. Serving a grand company means serving the nation to which it belongs. You will be charged with its defense and tasked with advancing its cause. In return for your faithful service, you will be furnished with various rewards, some of which may well prove useful to you in your other endeavors. If you are agonizing over which of the grand companies best serves your loyalty, be at ease. The commitment you make this day need not be permanent. Should you wish to shift your allegiance at a later date, you are entitled to do so, and yet I concede that it is no small choice you face. A thought occurs to me. You will, of course, recall that the three city-states are planning to hold remembrance services. As as part of the proceedings, I'm giving to understand that the leader of each grand company will deliver an address. Hearing these addresses ought to help you make an informed decision. What say you, my dear officers? A fine suggestion. You are as wise as you are beautiful, my lady. Very well. Let Yue hear our leader speak, and then return here with his decision. We eagerly await your answer. Oh, poor Tatara. I know full well the adventurers you are by their nature a liberty-loving breed, and not best suited for the discipline of military service. But I strongly urge you to join a grand company nonetheless. While the promise of reward is enticing in itself, it is not the only benefit. You are possessed of great power, Yue, and with it you are capable of doing untold good. Yet, know that great power is wont to attract attention, not all of it friendly. There will be those who wish you ill, and those you must needs be on the lookout for them. Yet, however vigilant you are but one man. In the midst of the grand company, however, you will be one man amongst many, a friend among friends. Your achievements will be shared, and so will be the danger. I can think of no better arrangement. Of course, joining one organization need not mean leaving another. I hope that we can continue to rely upon your aid. The 12 know that we will have need of it in the days ahead. The Grand Company seek to protect their own nations. We Scions, on the other hand, seek to preserve the future of Eorzea as a whole. Similar, yet not quite the same. Now then, I expect that you will be afield more often in the future. As such, I would have you carry this link pearl with you at all times. It will allow us to stay in touch regardless of location. Eorzea is changing, Yue, and you have the power to help shape it anew. None can say what the morrow will bring, but so long as we believe in ourselves, there is naught we cannot achieve. Now, it is time you made ready for the journey. Before you depart, be sure to speak to Tatara. She will apprise you as to where and when the remembrance services are due to take place. Right, we'll do that first then. I'll just talk to Tatara. Alright, Tatara, speak to me. I'm sorry about all the attention you're getting, Yue. I might have sung your praises a little too loudly, and often, to a few too many people. Next time, I'll be sure to hold my tongue, literally if necessary. Anyway, I expect you want to know where and when the remembrance services are taking place. If all goes to plan, Gridania's Grand Company and the Order of the Twin Adder will hold the first of the three services. The elder seer, Kana Sena, will deliver her address at Miketo's amphitheater. I should probably mention at this point that due to the organizational challenges involved in assembling all of the involved parties, it's possible that the order of the services might change. Still, there's not much we can do about that, so make Redania your first port of call. Next, you'll need to go to Ul'dah, where the Flame General Rabban Alden will be addressing the masses at the Royal Promenade. Oh, and it's rumored there is to be a special guest. How exciting! Last but not least, you must make your way to the stateroom in Limsa Lominsa, where Maelstrom Chief Admiral Meryl of Blithwith will be giving her address. The room is accessible via the Admiral's lift, identifying yourself to the sentry, Xanthil, and he will admit you. Got all that? Well, off you go then. I hope you find the remembered services suitably educational. I suggest visiting the city-states in my prescribed order, though. With your record of impeccable timing and luck, the schedule may well change in favor of your preferred travel plans. Farewell! Alright, so we'll go to Redania first. Ah, lovely rain. So we are to go to the amphitheater first. Looks like this is the spot.
I lost my son to the calamity.
The 3 Seedseers are all together.
Some say you couldn't take a step without stumbling over a body. Our forebears were once strangers in the Twelveswood. Fearful of the Green Wrath, they hid themselves in the dark recesses of the earth. Yet they dreamed of basking in the dappled sunlight of the forest. Through great effort, they proved their worth to the elementals, and were granted a place beneath the boughs. So it was that Gridania was born, some 5 centuries ago.
Wow, 5 centuries ago.
Working hand in hand, the Hyur and the Elysian settlers sowed the seeds of our civilization, and soon they were joined by folk of all races. So nourished by the waters of unity, and blessed by the light of the matron,
we know those two.
Gridania flourished into the great nation it is today.
Do you see the Gridanian standard? There, hanging behind the Elder Seedseer.
Yes?
The entwined serpents represent the unity between Hyur and Elysian. An elegant symbol, do you not agree?
Very much so.
In accordance with the will of the elementals, we have embraced a life of peace. Alas, our neighbors have not always sought the same for themselves, nor for us. Though we Gridanians have no love for war, we have still less for those who would threaten our way of life. Ever have we fought to protect the sanctity of the Twelveswood. When the Garlean Empire brought its war of conquest to Eorzea,
my favorite
we rallied under the
patch-off.
noble standard of the Twin Adder that we might push back the encroaching darkness. And it was we who prepared the ground for the reformation of the Eorzean Alliance, that all the peoples of this realm might stand united against the common threat. "5 years ago, the Alliance met the armies of the Empire upon the fields of Cartano. It would prove the bloodiest battle in recent memory. Countless Gridanian lives were lost. As Supreme Commander of the Order of the Twin Adder, ever shall I bear the weight of our people's sacrifice. Alas, their loss was not the only tragedy to befall us that day, for soon came the calamity. The scars borne by our forest are a constant reminder of its violence. Our lives have been irrevocably changed, each waking hour a struggle to survive. Driven to desperation, some among us have strayed from the path of righteousness, resorting to banditry, poaching, and other unconscionable deeds. To compound our woes, the Ixal have returned in force, emboldened by our suffering. They test our defenses nigh without cease, and prey upon the vulnerable. So beleaguered from within and without, it is of little wonder that our unity now falters. Dark times are upon us.
Time was a man could walk
pox
the
on the
high
bloody
roads without
Ixal.
fear.
On this day, 5 years ago, countless Eorzeans laid down their lives that we might behold another dawn. Please.
Oh, my bad.
And how do you propose to honor the memory of those you cannot remember, pray tell?
The destruction wrought by the calamity was indiscriminate. It dealt death to Eorzean and Garlean alike. Yet while we have labored to rebuild our homes, to rebuild our lives, the Empire has set about raising steel fortresses here in the Twelveswood. Let none be mistaken. The Garleans remain the greatest threat to our survival. If we are to stand against them, we must remember what it is to be united. Our many troubles blind us to the woes of our fellow man. Thence is harmony lost. Yet harmony is the founding principle of Gridania. We are gathered here to honor the fallen. Let them be honored not only in word and thought, but through concerted action. I bid you join hands with me once more beneath the Twin Adder standard. And together, let us heal the forest's wounds, that our progeny might live in harmony beneath these ancient boughs. For serenity, purity, and sanctity. We must think of the children!
Woods will be done.
It's up to us to protect the
Follow
forest.
the elementals!
Honestly, a really nice speech.
If you'll permit me, Alfie no. And my sister, Alize, at your service. I saw at a glance that you were a fellow traveler. You might call us students of history, sampling the realm's remembrances in pursuit of Enlightenment.
Oh yeah, such a difference in voices. The Gridanians are unfortunate enough to have contended with two beast tribes. The Ixal are unquestionably the most troublesome, being of naturally warlike disposition, and wont to summon their bloodthirsty primal Garuda. The Sylvs, by contrast, are peaceful in nature, being mischievous rather than malevolent, and have long been on friendly terms with the Gridanians, until recently at least. Alas, they have grown aloof, a change observed at roughly the time they summoned the primal Ramuh. The Gridanians have no love for war, and they consider open conflict a last resort. Though they clash with the Ixal ever more regularly, you may be assured that they do so in self-defense. As for the Sylvs, they are as yet bound by a peace treaty, though one wonders how long it will be before it is broken. The Twelfth Wood was grievously wounded during the calamity, leaving Gridania vulnerable to attack. The people are hopeful that restoring the wood, and hereby the power of the elementals, will put an end to their woes. Yet, how long will that take? Centuries, I'd wager. Meanwhile, the Ixalar will continue their incursions, spurred on by Garuda and her insatiable appetite for destruction. Whether the Gridanians like it or not, sooner or later it will come to an all-out war, and when it does, the Order of the Twin Adder will need all the help it can muster. How valuable might the aid of a capable adventurer prove to them, then? Well, perhaps we will find out, if the Elder Seed Seer's words fell on fertile ground. And off they go.